Hello everyone and welcome. Over the last couple of months we've had some interesting movies, a pretty cool remake, and some very good turn-based video games come out. And in this video we're going to talk about it. I'm Mike and this is Mike's After Action Reviews, and this is the second quarter 2025 action update. Alright everybody, so we are doing the second quarter action update, as I said in the intro here, and we have got a lot of things to talk about other than the fact that I actually shaved my face, so I don't have a big beard. It's starting to grow back now, and got a haircut. So let's talk about it. So over the last quarter I moved, so that's why I'm here like this instead of being in front of the big desk. I'm still setting up the big desk. Please guys, have patience with me for that. Or if you actually really like the action updates being here and like the videos being made like this, I mean, we can just continue to do it like this. I've always liked the big desk. If that's something that people are losing interest in, we can change that. The only thing is that the camera quality, this is a webcam, and the camera quality for the big desk is better. So that's the big thing here. Yeah, so let me know what you think about that in the comment section down below. Otherwise, we can get into it here. So, as always, we're going to start with last quarter's releases. So, starting off in April. It's because you have January, February, March, and then for the second quarter we're covering January, February, March, April, May, June, and then it is currently the end of July, but that's because of letting the box office numbers and the sales numbers for the June releases kind of finish their run. And yeah, so then moving forward, next time it'll be July, August, September, just so you guys understand how that works. So starting off in April, and by the way, some games we're not going to have covered, some movies we're not going to have covered that you may have expected, but we do 2 movies and 2 games per month. And if you think that there's ones that we should be watching out for and covering, even if we don't do reviews of them, covering their box office numbers or covering their performance numbers, let me know in the comment section down below. Also make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. So let's check it out. In April, the first video game that we're going to be talking about is The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered. It came out for Windows, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. It was released on April 22nd, developed by Virtuos Paris and Bethesda Softworks, and it was also published by Bethesda Softworks. So its critical reception was as follows. So the review scores from IGN were 8 out of 10, PC Gamer 84%, Metacritic Metascore was 80, and the user score was 7.6. By the way, just so you guys know, I am not memorizing this. You can clearly see I do have my notes. Normally I have my paper because I'm at the big desk, but today we're not doing that way. So the game's profitability is kind of the numbers that we could get are as follows. So from IGN on May 6, 2025, now we have the new milestone after just 1 week on sale. Oblivion Remastered became the 3rd best-selling game in the US of 2025 so far by dollar sales. That's according to Circana's Matt Piscatelli. Piscatella, who took to social media to say Oblivion Remastered trails only Monster Hunter Wilds and Assassin's Creed Shadows at the top of the 2025 sales chart. It's worth pointing out that Circana's sales charts do not include players via subscription services, so we know that Oblivion Remastered is a sales hit despite being available on Microsoft's Game Pass. Microsoft Game Pass is great. but it also is basically free, so it's weird as far as tracking the sales numbers. So we know the game was well liked by critics, and even if I check here, let me look real quick. Oblivion on Steam, it's got a mostly positive for all reviews, and then mixed on the... Okay, yeah, and then it's got a mixed reviews for 61% on Steam, but that is because of a patch that they came out that I guess they kind of some bugs or something caused by a recent patch. So I don't know about that. I'm just saying it's liked by critics and audiences and made a lot of money. So great for Bethesda. Now make sure that you do it again for Elder Scrolls 6, because a lot is riding on Elder Scrolls 6 for you guys. Okay, so then the second game for April was Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It came out for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Its release date was April 24th, 2025. It was developed by Sandfall Interactive and published by Kepler Interactive. Its critical reception is as follows. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10, GameSpot gave it a 9 out of 10, and Metacritic had a Metascore of 93 and a user score of 9.7. This is one that I did not review, but that I basically regretted not reviewing because it was kind of a sleeper hit for me anyway. Its profitability numbers, as far as we could gather, are as follows. So this is from thegamer.com on May 27th, 2025. While we'll never know exactly how much the game costs to make, the team has given us an indication, sharing that it costs less than some AA titles released almost 20 years ago. Sandfall Interactive COO and producer Francois Miris suggested that estimations of Claire Obscure Expedition 33's budget had so far been well wide of the mark. I would say that I've seen a lot of budget estimations that are all higher than the real budget. He said, everyone's desperate to know what the budget is, and I won't tell them, but I would guarantee that if you got 10 people to guess, I think all 10 wouldn't guess the actual figure. I'm sure Mirror's Edge and Vanquish cost more. Put it that way. So it is currently 2025, and Mirror's Edge came out in 2008. So use that as a reference. This game did not cost much money. It is doing very well, most likely. But the sales numbers for video games are hard to get. It's not like the box office numbers, which are actually published. So, awesome. Okay, and then we have, starting off with movies in April. So we have a Minecraft movie released on April 4th, 2025. I did not do a review, but I did see this movie and I did like it. Okay, the production companies were Legacy Pictures and Warner Bros. Pictures. It was directed by Jared Hess. Its critical reception are as follows: 8.6 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes is top critics 48%, all critics 48%. Audience score is verified audience of 85%, all audience 80%. The Metacritic Metascore was 45, user score 5.5. Now I'm going to tell you, those Rotten Tomatoes 85s and 80s, I think is more accurate than anything else. I really liked the movie. So take that with a grain of salt. I liked it. We're going to see how it did in the box office. So, from thehollywoodreporter.com on April 7th, 2025, a Minecraft movie easily boasts the top start of 2025 to date and is the biggest domestic launch since Deadpool and Wolverine in July of 2024, which made $211 million just as in its launch. Okay, so just as noteworthy, it came ahead of Barbie, which was $162 million in its launch, to mark Warner's biggest domestic opening since 2016. When Batman vs. Superman debuted to $166 million, again, opening weekend. So Saturday's gross of $60 million is the biggest in the history of Warner's, not adjusted for inflation. Legendary put up 25% of the $150 million production budget. That doesn't include marketing costs. So, Production budget was 150 million, which means just think 300 million to break even. So we're looking for $300 million for this to make money. Let's check out the box office numbers. Here they are from boxofficemojo.com. Domestically, a Minecraft movie made $423 million. Internationally, it made $531 million with a worldwide box office total of $955 million. Again, as always, I'm rounding that. I'm not going to say the whole 423,949,195. I'm just rounding, just letting you guys know so you know how accurate I am here. But yeah, worldwide, $955 million. It made almost $1 billion. I am telling you, I know that there are some critics, basically the critics didn't like it, and then Metacritic is giving it a lower score. But actually, I think that the 80 and 85% audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes are definitely more accurate. I really liked this movie. I think you can see it now on Prime or HBO. Go check it out. It's a good movie. Okay, so then moving on to our next movie in April. So, Sinners, released on April 18th, 2025. It was produced by Proximity Media and Warner Bros. Pictures and directed by Ryan Coogler. Its critical reception is as follows. So IMDb gave it a 7.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it top critics a 97%, all critics a 97%. Audience verified was 96%, and all audiences was 93%. The Metascore from Metacritic was 84, and the user score was 7.4. Again, the Metacritic tends to be lower. And sometimes that's not a better, I don't think that's a more accurate number. I think that basically I go mostly by the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. So, I thought this was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I watched it. I didn't do a review of this one because I just watched it. And it's July 30th. I just watched it like a week ago. But it was a really good movie, and I'm really happy to have seen it. And let's check it out. So, profitability is as follows. This one's really short. So, IndieWire.com, from IndieWire.com on April 21st, 2025, Sinners was made for a reported budget of $90 million. Okay, so that's it. That's what I've got. The rest of I really just cut to the budget numbers. I don't put in any of the fluff from these articles, but that's from IndieWire.com. So basically, again, $90 million, think $200 million, $180 to $200 million, let's just say, to break even here. So we're needing more than $200 million. So from boxofficemojo.com, domestically, the movie made $278 million. Internationally, it made $87 million. So with a worldwide box office of $365 million, we're looking at this movie making a lot of money. It was a big success, more than double what it needed to break even. This is awesome. I'm really happy for Ryan Coogler, Haley Steinfeld, and Michael B. Jordan. That's the director and the 2 stars. Great job. Good for them. It's cool to have a really good. It's cool to have a good vampire movie. I love vampires. I'm still waiting for the vampire video game. We've all been waiting for 4 years because I just love vampires. They're so cool. Okay, so cool. So that was April. Let's get into May. So starting off with video games in May, Doom: The Dark Ages, released for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. It was released on May 15th, 2025. It was developed by id Software and published by Bethesda Softworks. Critical reception is as follows. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. Steam gave it an 86%. Metacritic gave it a Metascore of 85 and a user score of 7.7. I'm going to tell you guys that I honestly thought it was a bit bland. There was open world sections that were just not fun. I mean, I'll be honest. I walked around so much looking for collectibles, and it was not the greatest time because it wasn't as fast paced as Doom Eternal. So I was kind of disappointed. I would still say it's an okay game, but not great. go check out my review. It's in the Rapidex review section of the channel, or the video game reviews playlist on the channel. As far as profitability, from tweaktown.com on May 29th, 2025, reports are surfacing following Bethesda's announcement that the Dark Ages has reached 3 million players. Of those 3 million, only 1 million were actual sales. The rest were Game Pass. According to Alinea Analytics, The Dark Ages has sold 800,000 copies, with 200,000 of those copies on PlayStation, 200,000 on Xbox, and 400,000 on Steam. The remaining players are enjoying the title on Xbox Game Pass. So I'll be honest with you guys, 800 million copies is not good. Not for a game like this. This game probably lost money, and I definitely understand why. A while ago, I said that Doom seemed like the last kind of bastion right now for Bethesda Softworks. People have kind of lost faith in Elder Scrolls. They're really worried that Elder Scrolls isn't going to be great. Starfield sucked. I think it was so bland. I mean, it didn't suck like it was a terrible game, but it was like chewing cardboard. Starfield wasn't good, didn't do well. Fallout was totally destroyed by Fallout 76. So you have Doom left, and now this game is lost money. They've got to really knock it out of the park with Elder Scrolls 6, guys. You gotta knock it out of the park. Yeah, so hopefully they can recover. Otherwise, I want all video games to be good. I want all games to be good. I'm kind of irritated and disappointed that gaming has kind of not been doing well recently. Okay, but let's move on to the next one here. So, Elden Ring Night Rain released on May 30th, 2025. It was developed by FromSoft Incorporated, or FromSoft Inc., and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Its critical reception is as follows. So IGN gave it a 7 out of 10, PC Gamer gave it an 80%, Metacritic gave it a 77 Metascore, and a user score of 6.6. As far as its profitability, from IGN.com on June 3rd, 2025, Elden Ring Night Rain is now up to 3.5 million copies sold after 5 days on sale, with its Steam user review rating improving from mixed to mostly positive. I'm not sure why it was mixed, okay? But I am telling you that 3.5 million copies sold on a game that is basically, and it's not a bad thing, but it's basically an expansion of Elden Ring. Think 3.9 million copies sold times $40, and currently it is July 30th, and it has a very positive review score on Steam at 88% for recent reviews and 82% for all reviews. You have to realize this is kind of an asset flip. They used a lot of assets from the old game, from the main game of Elden Ring, which is not a bad thing because of the way that it was made and what it's for. It's a multiplayer experience within the Elden Ring world, and that is great, and it was probably cheap to make. So 3.5 million copies, that is an amazing number for such a project, we'll put it that way. So awesome, great for those guys. Let's move on though. So we have Thunderbolts. It was released on May 2nd, 2025. The production companies were Marvel Studios and Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. It was directed by Jake Schreier. Its critical reception was as follows. So IMDb gave it a 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, top critics gave it a 90%. All critics gave it an 88%. Verified audiences gave it a 93%. And all audiences gave it a 91%. The Metascore was 68, and this is from Metacritic, and the user score was 7.4. So again, Metacritic coming in at lower numbers, but I loved this movie. Go check out my review. It's in the movie and series reviews playlist on the channel. It was really great. I reviewed it with Tommy. I really loved this one. So, as far as its profitability, though, let's check it out from Variety.com on May 11th, 2025. Thunderbolts carries a hefty $180 million production budget, not including at least $100 million in marketing expenses. Since theater owners get to keep half of ticket sales, Thunderbolts needs a long life in theaters to justify the price tag. So, here's what it is, guys. Again, I loved it. I think this could be a revival for Marvel, but its box office performance, I think, was due to the sentiment surrounding Marvel movies right now. It is not Marvel fatigue. It is not superhero fatigue. Fatigue in a genre does not exist. Instead, if you wanted to say fatigue, that has nothing to do with audiences, but it has to do with how tired the people are that make this stuff, because they're making it bad now, and what really is happening is it's bad movie fatigue. So, from BoxOfficeMojo.com, domestically the movie made $189 million. Internationally, it made $192 million, with a worldwide box office of $380 million. So we are looking at... It didn't do it. So they say double the production budget to break even. So what we're looking at is it had $180 million, which means it needed $360 million. It probably broke even, which isn't terrible considering that some of these movies have actually been losing money. It probably broke even, but I would hope that they bring these characters back with a bigger budget, bigger project, because this actually was really good. And word of mouth, I think, is going to carry a sequel here, because this one was good. And so probably what's going to happen is if they made a sequel, other people would be like, hey, actually, I didn't go see the first one in theaters, but I heard it was really great. I saw it later, and it was great, so I'm going to go see this next one, basically. I hope that that's what happens. Okay, so then our second movie is Lilo & Stitch, which released on May 23rd, 2025. The production companies were the Walt Disney Company, and the director was Dean Fleischer Camp. Dean Fleischer Camp. 3 names. Okay, so then the critical reception was as follows. IMDb gave it a 6.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, top critics gave it a 63%. All critics gave it a 71%. Audiences, verified audiences gave it a 92%. All audiences gave it an 84%. The Metascore from Metacritic was 53, and the user score was 4.5. I heard that this movie sucked. People who probably are reviewing it, and I didn't hear it from the review sites. I mean, I'm talking from people who are credible, other reviewers. Yes, I didn't see this one, but I heard it sucked, and fine. A lot of the positive reviews are probably from people, probably from people who went and saw it with their kids and their kids liked it. So that's normal, Okay. But as far as its profitability, let's check it out. So from ScreenRant.com on May 29th, 2025, one element that has gone into making Lilo & Stitch's record-breaking success more notable is that the film was made on a $100 million budget. Whew. That's actually amazing. Let's check it out. So from BoxOfficeMojo.com, domestically, it made $414 million. Internationally, it made $580 million, leaving a worldwide gross ending at $994 million. It made basically $1 billion. Great for those guys. I want every movie to be good. I want every movie to have an audience that enjoys it, because that means that they did their job. So if the movie sucked, but young audiences enjoyed it, great. Yeah, maybe it's just not for it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it here because I didn't review it. I didn't see the movie, but I'm just saying I want people to enjoy media. I love good stories. If you saw it and you enjoyed it, that's great for you. I'm really glad. I actually am. I'm legitimate. I'm really glad. Awesome. Great. And so great for Disney. Hopefully this can keep the lights on for a little while now that they basically have been failing to make money, but they with their movies, but now they've had a tentpole success. Awesome. Hopefully that makes up for some of their weaker titles. Okay, so then let's get into June. So starting off with video games in June. Dune Awakening released on PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and Series S, Linux, Microsoft, and Microsoft Windows. Its release date was June 10th, 2025 for PC. Actually, there's no release date right now for consoles, even though it is coming to consoles. The game was developed and published by Funcom. Okay, its critical reception is as follows. So IGN gave it an 8 out of 10. Games Radar gave it a 3 out of 5. Metacritic Metascore was 78 and the user score was 6.2. I've heard that the game is really fun, but does have some problems. But still, that's really great. I'm really glad that people are enjoying it. It's definitely not a game for me because of the PvP side of things, and it's more geared towards PvP, basically, and for me, and I don't like games that wipe. This game has a server wipe every month. That's not really my thing. I'm not into that. I like to be able to build a base or whatever and then keep it because I've spent all that time doing it, so I don't like games that have a wipe. That's why I like games like this where you survival and base building and crafting like Subnautica, because even though it's single player, the game doesn't wipe and I can build my base and do all my good stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, as far as profitability, so from IGN.com on June 23rd, 2025, Dune Awakening launched June 10th and 1 million players have awakened, the studio said. It's now Funcom's fastest selling game ever. To put this into perspective, it took Conan Exiles 1 year to reach this number, to reach 1 million players. We're truly humbled and thankful for this reception. It must also be noted that you certainly don't live up to your title because you have been busy since launch. Wait, it must also be noted that you certainly don't live up to your title because you have been busy since launch. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, okay. Sorry, when I wrote this down, by the way, because I just copied and pasted, but when I read it, the first time I read it too, I was a little confused. Let me know what you think about what they said there in the comment section down below. Okay, so I'm glad that they made a bunch of money. It's really awesome. Again, just like I said with movies, I want all games to be good. I want them to find an audience. I want the gaming industry to succeed. I want them to make things that people like, all of that good stuff. Okay, so then the second game in June was Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, which released on PS5. Its release date was June 26th, 2025. It was developed by Kojima Productions Company and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Its critical reception is as follows. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10. From Metacritic, it got a Metascore of 89 and a user score of 8.9. Its profitability, by the way, I didn't like the first game, and people said the first game was one of those games where you either are going to love it or you're going to hate it, depending on what you're looking for in a game, and it was not what I was looking for in a game, so I didn't, sorry, I shouldn't say that I didn't play it, because it's just not a game that I'm interested in playing. So I didn't play this one either. I've heard that it was good though, so definitely that's great. Go with the review scores here because everyone agrees that this one was good. Metacritic, GameSpot, and IGN are all relatively equal scores, so that's great. Okay, so then as far as its profitability, from IGN.com on July 4th, 2025, as reported by the Game Business via WCCF Tech, data firm Ampere estimates that Death Stranding 2 sold 1.4 million copies by the end of June. While the game didn't perform as strongly as the first Death Stranding in terms of physical sales across Europe, digital sales have been much stronger this time. So, we don't get sales numbers for video games. They're very hard to gauge as far as an exact number, but you can, by following the industry, kind of get a good idea of this is good or this did bad. So it sounds like it did really good because of digital sales, even though physical sales went down. But physical sales have been going down every year. So physical sales went down, which as expected, and digital sales actually rose, probably making up for the loss of physical sales. So then getting into June movies, okay, so Ballerina, or From the World of John Wick Ballerina. I'm actually not sure what the actual title of this is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about this, because originally it was called Ballerina, and then all the other stuff started to say From the World of John Wick Ballerina. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the title. I mean, it's basically Ballerina. But the official name when you do a search or look up the movie has changed, so whatever. Okay, Ballerina, which is a movie set in the world of John Wick, okay, released June 6th, 2025. The production companies were Quad Films and Lionsgate Films, and it was directed by Len Weissman. Its critical reception is as follows. So IMDb gave it a 7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes top critics gave it a 63%. All critics gave it a 76%. Audience verified audience score was 92%. All audiences gave it an 89%. From Metacritic, the Metascore was 89 and the user score was 8.9. So basically what I'm hearing when you look at audiences from Rotten Tomatoes and from Metacritic, this is basically an 80 to 90 movie. So in other words, an A. This would be like an excellent, above average to excellent movie. And that's great to hear. I didn't see this one. During this time, I was kind of stuck in a weird position because I was moving into my house, so I missed a lot of this stuff. Now I'm back into the swing of things. Thank you guys for your patience. Okay, but let's check out how it did as far as profitability. So from ScreenRant.com on January 3rd, 2025, per Deadline, Ballerina's budget is reportedly between $80 and $90 million after reshoots, which would be the franchise's second most expensive film behind John Wick Chapter 4. The main reason why the movie was so expensive to produce is likely due to its extensive reshoots. While nearly every franchise film undergoes reshoots to some extent, some more extensive than others, Ballerina reportedly underwent significant reshoots after the initial filming had wrapped in February 2023. So, with those reshoots, $80 to $90 million, you're looking at an $160 to $180 million to break even here. So let's check out how the movie did at the box office. So from boxofficemojo.com, domestically the movie made $57 million, internationally it made $73 million, and worldwide it made $130 million. So basically, guys, there is no way that this movie made any money. It lost money, and that kind of sucks because Ana de Armas is a good actress. You know, John Wick, the characters in here, Keanu Reeves is a good actor, and audiences loved it. So just not enough people went out to see it. I don't know. We're kind of getting over the time in our, like, the time in history right now where everything was about girl power and was very politically charged. So that, but being that everything was that way for a couple of years there, it could be that people's sentiment towards those types of movies is bad. So you see a girl led movie about a character who uses guns and is kind of an action star, and you say, well, it's probably going to be some politically motivated thing. I don't want to deal with that. So then a movie like this fails, even if it is good. Man, I remember the good old days when it didn't matter, like 10 years ago. And then what sucks is that 9 years ago, all the women said, well, these movies never make any money because men are sexist, and then they started making movies that were sexist towards men, and men were like, well, fine, we're not going to go watch this stuff. But anyway, the movie didn't make money, guys. I'm sorry to hear it, because I heard it was pretty good. Yeah, that's what I've got. So let's move on to our last title for this section of the video, and that is How to Train Your Dragon. It released on June 13th, 2025. It was like the production companies were DreamWorks Animation and Universal Pictures, and it was directed by Dean Dubois. Dubois, I don't, Dean, Deblois. It's a French name. I don't know how to spell it. I have a weird name too. Please don't hate me. Okay, and if you know how to pronounce it, try to type it into the comment section down below, phonetically, so I can understand how to say it. Okay, but its critical reception is as follows. So, IMDb was an 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes top critics were 55%. All critics were 77%. Audiences, verified audiences, was 97%, and all audiences was 96%. Metacritic Metascore was 61 and user score was 7.4. Now, knowing that the user score on Metacritic is usually a little lower, and trusting the audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes way more than I do the critics, I'm going to say that this being basically 100% with audiences on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.4 on Metacritic, this movie probably falls in the 90 range. So in other words, another excellent movie. I did hear from another reviewer that this is the best live action movie remake of an animated property ever. I didn't see it. Tommy did, and then some stuff was going on with Tommy and he couldn't do the review. I couldn't go see it because I was very busy with my house. So take everything with a grain of salt, but basically I've heard that this movie is great. And we're going to see how much money it did right now. So as far as profitability from Forbes.com on July 14th, 2025, the film had a $150 million production budget before prints and advertising cost, according to Deadline. So with a $150 million budget, it means we need $300 million. $300 million is the goal. Let's see what we roll from BoxOfficeMojo.com domestically. $241 million, internationally $321 million, so worldwide box office of $562 million. Yeah, that is a great success on a $150 million budget. Probably what's going to happen is because of all of the hype, I guess it's not hype, it's like back-ended hype, it's word of mouth, it's people saying that it actually was a great movie. The sequel will do better at the box office, so it would be really good for them to make another one, because if this one was that great, I haven't seen it yet, but if it was that great, there's other movies in the series, and the other movies I'm talking about in the animated series, and those movies were actually pretty good, so that's awesome. So, yeah. So that was the In Case You Missed It section of the video. It's the popular section of the video. I know that the full action updates don't get very many views. I do know that, but when I break them down into their clips, I just got hooked on this. But when I break them down into their clips, people like the way that we cover the box office numbers and sales numbers and everything for the industry. So yeah. Before we move on to the plan of everything that's going on for the rest of the year, I do just want to say, so what I'm currently working on, as always, we always need help. We never get it. If anybody wants to live stream, we are a monetized channel. If you want to partner with us, you can live stream on the channel, make money doing so. Live streams. So just to break it down for you guys so you understand what you're getting yourself into with YouTube. I made, and people don't get this. Plenty of people, now that I've had a YouTube channel, have said, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, I'm going to make a bunch of money. Like, they've said that, but people don't get it. So, this month, we have gotten 66.8 thousand views, most of which are from shorts, and we've made $21.36 just this month. We have a small audience. We actually make more money from sponsorships, so that would be something that you'd look forward to with helping. We could work with you if you started a live stream with us, but we actually do make some money from sponsorships, and it's way more than we make from ad revenue. But and then Twitch also makes us money separately from all this. But the thing is, from shorts this month, so from regular videos this month, we made $1.86 per thousand views, 25 cents per thousand views on shorts, and $29.43 per thousand views on live streams. My point is that if you do a live stream and it gets 1,000 views, you will get $30. You see what I'm saying? You can actually start off very well if you wanted to be a streamer working with us. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know and we can make something happen. Otherwise, yeah, so we've made enough money now. We're going to do the $200 giveaway. Or sorry, the $20 giveaway. The thing is, and I actually held off on doing the action update because I was waiting for that payout. But the thing is that YouTube, the way that they do it, it's like they only pay you between the 21st and the 25th of every month. I was expecting that payment last month, or this month. It didn't happen, so now they've confirmed for me that we are going to be getting paid around the 21st to the 25th of August. Or sorry, of August, yeah. So we will be able to do that $20 giveaway next action update. So yeah, so that's cool. Awesome. Okay, and then also guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I've been a little bit behind. Bought a house, did all that stuff, so it's kind of knocked me around as far as getting, you know, the op tempo, getting everything done that we need to get done. But it's great to kind of be back. We're back on track here. So moving forward, we're going to we are going to be doing a lot better, and I appreciate your guys' patience. So let's talk about moving forward, though. We have our yearly plan. So some of these have already come out in the month of July, but we're going to cover their numbers and their critical reception in the next action update, which will allow, if you wait, you know, it kind of allows you to get a full picture of how much money they made and how people liked the games and movies. So July 2nd, okay, Mecha Break came out for the Xbox Series X and Series S, Xbox Cloud Gaming, and Microsoft Windows. Developed by Amazing Seasun Games. It was both developed by them and published by them. So that came out July 2nd. We're going to find out about it later. Donkey Kong Bonanza came out for the Nintendo Switch 2. It was released on July 17th, developed by Nintendo Entertainment Planning and Development, and published by Nintendo. I've heard that one's doing well. We're going to find out in the next action update. Jurassic World Rebirth was released on July 2nd, 2025. The production companies were Amblin Entertainment and Universal Pictures, and it was directed by Gareth Edwards. I saw it. Go check out my review. You can hear my feelings on it. Then we had Superman, which released on July 8th, 2025. And it was coming at us from Warner Bros. And the director was Richard Donner. And then also, we kind of had this battle between Superman and like DC and Marvel, with the Fantastic Four being released on July 24th, 2025. I included that one as a third movie for this month because, you know, the kind of DC versus Marvel paradigm there. But it was released, yeah, July 24th, coming at us from Marvel Studios and being directed by Matt Shackman. And I will tell you guys, I really think that Superman definitely won that battle. Marvel's first family could not live up to James Gunn's brilliance. So Marvel needs to pick things up, for sure. Go back to the way of making things like the Thunderbolts. Okay. Anyway, okay, so then moving forward here into August, we've got Dying Light the Beast. Okay, we've gotten a release date since our last action update. So it's releasing for PS4, PS5, Xbox, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. It was to be announced. We've now got the release date of August 22nd, 2025. It's being developed and published by Techland. We've got Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater coming out for the PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and it is releasing on August 28th, 2025. It is developed and published by Konami. So today is the 30th of July. I've really got to go see The Naked Gun. It's a movie releasing on August 1st, 2025, coming at us from Paramount Pictures and being directed by Akiva Schaffer. It looks really great. Liam Neeson, which is awesome because the original guy was Leslie Nelson, and then he died, so they're like, well, Liam Neeson. So they actually sound similar names. I've heard people make jokes about that quite a bit. Then we have Nobody 2 releasing in August on the 15th, August 15th, 2025. The production companies are Universal Pictures, 87 North Productions, Odenkirk, Proviciero Entertainment, and it's being directed by Timo Tahanto. Tjahjnto. I really liked Nobody, and so Nobody 2 coming out is kind of exciting for me. I might go see that one as well. I'm going to be visiting my grandmother around that time, so maybe I can take her out and we'll go watch a movie. Be great. Okay, so then in September, now all of those movies, so The Naked Gun and Nobody 2 are two games I want to review. I'm not big for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I played it when it originally came out, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. And I'm not really for Dying Light the Beast. I'm going to try to get like Tommy, other people to play these games and do Rapidash reviews. I actually just had, in early access, I had Grounded 2 came out, and I love the first one, so I might actually play that. But basically, so for August, I don't have a game that I'm looking forward to reviewing. For July, I was working in my house, having just bought a house. June, I did the Doom the Dark Ages review and then didn't have a game that I played because, again, house. So bear with me on my plan here, but moving forward, it's still. Okay, so we've got September, we have Hell Is Us, releasing for PC and PS5. The release date is September 4th, 2025. It's being developed by Rogue Factor and published by Nacon. I might play that one just because out of curiosity, but actually that's not one that I really have marked to play. We'll see what happens when I get there, how I'm feeling. Then we have Borderlands 4 coming out for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, releasing on September 12th, 2025. It was the 23rd, but now it's the 12th. So that is being developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K. I'm not going to play Borderlands 4. I might check out Hell Is Us. Tommy Boy wants to play Borderlands 4, so I might buy that for him so he can play that. Yeah. So then we've got, for movies in September, we've got The Long Walk, which is a new movie. We didn't know about it in our last action update. That is coming out on September 12th, 2025. It is a Stephen King novel being made into a movie. It's being produced by, production company is Lionsgate Studios, and it's being directed by Francis Lawrence. I currently do not have a second movie for September that I'm interested in seeing, but we're rolling through a lot of movies right now, actually, with The Naked Gun, Nobody 2, The Long Walk. Like, we're kind of racking them up and knocking them down one right after the other right now, so that'll kind of make up for it, I think. But in October, so we've got Ghost of Yotai releasing for the PS5 on October 2nd, 2025. The production company is from the developer side. We got Sucker Punch, and the publisher is Sony Interactive Entertainment. Now, I want to play Ghost of Yotai, but I don't know because Dad, Lore Master Brian, wants to play it too, so I might actually have him play it and do a review maybe with me or maybe for me. We'll see how it goes. The Outer Worlds 2 is coming out for PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S. That was also to be announced, but it is now releasing on October 29th, 2025, which is great. I heard that the first one was really good. I never played it. I gotta go back and get it and play it. Because I've got to go back and play it because I actually heard that it was really good. And yeah, so it would be great to be able to play a good game and then play its sequel, right? But that is developed by Obsidian Entertainment, the people who originally made Fallout, and you can definitely tell that they are the ones that know what they're doing with Fallout. And then the publisher is Xbox Game Studios. And then as far as movies in October, we've got Tron Ares releasing on October 10th, 2025, coming at us from Walt Disney Pictures, and being directed by Joachim Roning, I think. So it's Joachim, and last name is R-O with a slash through it, which I think is Scandinavian, right? So O with a slash, N-N-I-N-G. If you know how to say that better than I said it, let me know in the comment section down below phonetically, please. So I want to see Tron Ares. It's got Jared Leto. I basically have liked him. He's had some misses, but I like him, and the movie looks great. Jeff Bridges, it's going to be cool. Mortal Kombat 2 is coming out on October 24th, 2025. The production companies are New Line Cinema, Atomic Monster, and it is directed by Simon McQuoid. It looks great. It's got Billy Butcher, played by Carl Urban. No, it's Johnny Cage, played by Carl Urban. The trailers have looked great. I think it's going to be way more fun, more lore accurate, way better than the 2021, 2022 Mortal Kombat movie. I did a review of that one with Sam, my old buddy Sam from the Army. Yeah, so I'm excited about that one. I'm probably going to review that one as well, because Tron Ares comes out on the 10th, and then the 24th will be Mortal Kombat 2, and so I can get them both done at the same time. So then in November, though, we have Cairn coming out from PC and PS5. It's got a release date of November 5th, 2025. It's being developed by the Game Bakers, which is an indie studio. It's also being published by them, because again, indie studio. I think this is going to be the one that I review. One big reason why is because the other game that's coming out in November I might possibly be interested in. Doesn't seem like it's going to be something I'm really interested in, if you know what I mean. It was like the best that they had. But Cairn looks like it's going to be interesting. It's actually a game about mountain climbing, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be one of those things where it's kind of like a mundane thing. You're not fighting bad guys or doing any of that stuff, but with the music and kind of the visual storytelling that they're going to show, I think it's going to be, the visual storytelling they're going to bring to the table is going to be something that makes it a very fun game to play. So then the other one for November is Anno 117 Pax Romana, coming out for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. It's got a release date of November 13th, 2025. It's developed by Ubisoft Mainz and published by Ubisoft, another city builder. And I'm sure it'll be great and everything. It's just not going to be one of those games, one of the types of games that I personally will be reviewing. So probably going to be Cairn. I am excited about the movies coming out in November, because we've got Predator Badlands releasing on November 7th, 2025. It is so basically produced by 20th Century Studios, and it's directed by Dan Trachtenberg. All right, I am not excited about the way that the Predator looks. People have been kind of getting after me online. You got to remember, and you can kind of hear me talk about that, it's the rule of cool. I don't think that the new Predator is cool, so the movie's got to be great to overcome that. But it's a new Predator movie. It's from the perspective of a predator, and well, I don't want to spoil it, but even in the trailers you see it's a synthetic, so they kind of team up and go do stuff. And that sounds like it could be interesting. I just wish that the Predator looked cooler. That's for sure. More traditional Predator look would have been better. Yeah, so that. Okay, and then the other movie releasing in November is going to be The Running Man. It's releasing November 7th, 2025, produced by Genre Films and directed by Edgar Wright. The Running Man. The Running Man. The Running Man. It's a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I'm not sure if it's a remake or a sequel, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the original one, in the 80s or 90s. Really great movie back then. Hopefully a good movie, a good remake or a good sequel, depending on exactly what they're going to do here. I always avoid news about these things because I don't want anything spoiled. Even the rumors and stuff, I don't want spoiled. Okay, so then getting into December, we don't have any games that I'm tracking right now in December. Any big games that we're gonna consider for the channel or anything. If you have some that you would like me to check out, make sure to put a comment in the comment section down below. But we do have 2 movies that one I'm interested in, the other one I'm kind of like, I've got to go see it to see what it is because of what it is, and that is Avatar: Fire and Ash. So it's releasing December 19th, 2025. It's coming at us from 20th Century Fox and being directed by James Cameron. I did not like Amazon Way of the Water. The final battle was really weird because you had all these Na'vi attacking this boat, and then all of a sudden, maybe a quarter of the way through the battle, all those Na'vi are just gone. They're just not there anymore, and the main character and the villain are basically the only ones on the boat, and so they gotta fight each other, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, what is this? Like, where did everybody go? And it was basically a remake of the original, but in water instead of the jungle. So we're going to see what happens now with Fire and Ash. Maybe they can put a spin on the formula to make it a little, at least a little bit differentiated from the original and the sequel Way of the Water. We'll see what happens. Okay, and then we've got one that I'm kind of interested in. I mean, I'm not totally dead set on whether I'm going to see it or not. It's coming out very close to Fire and Ash, but that movie is Anaconda, which is going to be starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. That's basically why I'm interested in this. So it's a remake of the Anaconda movie from 1997 with Owen Wilson, and it's going to be an action horror comedy. So I'm interested, especially because Jack Black is in it. So I'm like, what is this going to be? But that's coming out December 25th, 2025, coming at us from Sony Pictures and being directed by Tom Gormican. Gormican. And yeah, so that's our yearly plan moving forward, everything that we know so far. In December, I'm going to be kind of starting to form my plan for 2026, but that's the year so far, guys. So if you've got any suggestions for me moving forward and movies I should check out, video games I should be tracking, let me know in the comment section down below. Otherwise, let's talk about things that are announced but not released yet. Okay, so the first one we've been tracking for a while, and that is The Wolf Among Us 2, coming out for PC, PlayStation, Xbox. It's probably Series X and S, but it just says Xbox in my notes. And there are some rumors, okay, just rumors. This game is going to be developed and published by Telltale Games. Obviously we don't have a release date, that's why we're here, and the news about it is all rumors. So, from comicbook.com on July 6, 2025, it's been a rocky road to The Wolf Among Us 2, but it looks like an end could be in sight. According to a new rumor, Telltale Games is gearing up for some kind of campaign to promote the game, which will see partnerships with online influencers and media outlets. At this time, the exact time frame for the campaign has not been announced, but leaker Extas, which is EXTAS1S, okay, believes it will start no later than this October. If that information is correct, that would seem to suggest that an actual release date for the game isn't too far away. That's not much information, but it's more than we have had in a long time. I hope, because the first game was so good, episodic, almost visual novel, but much more interactive than visual novel. I wouldn't say that it's the same as the typical Telltale games. It didn't feel that way to me. Like, I guess it is kind of the same structure, but I thought it truly ascended the other Telltale games, like the Walking Dead and stuff. I think this is probably, for me, this is the best Telltale game that I've seen in a long time. But the best Telltale game, like The Wolf Among Us, was the best Telltale game that I had seen of their kind of catalog there. So that was totally awesome. Okay, so then the other one that we've got, that we've also been tracking for a long time, is that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series X and S. This has been delayed a lot, quite a few number of times. It's being developed by the Chinese Room. It was previously being developed by Hardsuit Labs. It's being published by Paradox Interactive. We have no real news, okay? But last time that from our previous action updates, we heard that it's due out in October. I'm hoping it doesn't get delayed, and I'm hoping that we get an actual release date soon. And then we've got Unrecord coming out for PC. That is that game that we all saw that we thought was actual footage from a police body cam, but it's not. It is just hyper-realistic graphics for a first-person shooter game. That is being developed and published by Drama, which is basically a new independent studio. The game looked really great in all the trailers, but we have no news on this. Basically, we got some rumors and things, but they were basically discredited on Twitter, of all places. The only place that we're finding anything out is from social media posts from the developer, and basically the release date and time are yet to be announced. That's the news we've got. But it is a small developer, and they said that they're going to let us know when they know. Yeah. So then we've got another, all of these, by the way, all of these we've been waiting for a long time. This is the last one that we've been tracking for a while now, though. The rest of these are more relatively newer to our catalog of games and this is just games. Catalog of games we've been waiting for. And that is Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time Remake, coming out for PC, PS4, and Xbox. We haven't heard anything new. The last time that Ubisoft put anything out from our previous action updates, we learned that it's on track for release in 2026. Okay, it's a 20-year-old 8-hour game. Come on, guys, get this thing done. Okay, so then a newer game that we've been waiting for is Fable, coming out for PC, Xbox Series X and S, being developed by Playground Games and Third Kind Games and published by Xbox Game Studios. Nothing new. Supposed to be released sometime in 2026. We've got Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. It's been delayed. So it's being developed by Skydance New Media and published by Skydance. It's being developed by and published by Skydance New Media. So from the direct.com on March 5th, 2025, in Marvel 1994 Rise of Hydra is delayed out of 2025 to early 2026. A statement published by Skydance Games confirmed the delay, with the development team working to add polish. There's a hint that Skydance may soon release new information or show a fresh look at the game, however. So hopefully we get some more information soon. But yeah, it was delayed. Sometimes being delayed maybe once to polish the game can be a good thing. When it starts to get delayed twice, 3 times, 4 times, you're more likely to hear cancellation, or when the game comes out, it'll just be kicked out the door and it won't be that great. Here's one that I'm really excited for. Subnautica 2, coming at us from PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. It was delayed. So it's being developed by Unknown Worlds Entertainment and published by Krafton. From GameRant.com on July 10th, 2025. On July 2nd, news broke that Krafton had parted ways with Unknown Worlds founder Charlie Cleveland and Max McGuire, as well as the studio CEO Ted Gill. The South Korean company also announced that the long-awaited early access release of Subnautica 2 has been delayed to 2026, reportedly to ensure the game meets the developers' expectations. So I've been excited about Subnautica 2 because I liked Subnautica. I loved Subnautica. And I liked Subnautica Below Zero. The fact that the CEO, the 2 founders and the CEO have been kicked out actually makes me think that this game, why the South Korean company, my understanding is that Korean companies tend to try to really monetize their games, and I hope that's not going to happen with Subnautica 2. Because I really love Subnautica. This game is awesome. And then Subnautica 2 is now being delayed and owned by a different company, because Unknown Worlds Entertainment did everything itself, and then Krafton came in as a publisher and partnered with them, and now they kicked out all the people that made the first game, the heads of it all. So I hope it does okay, but my heart kind of sinks hearing about that. Okay, again, another newer game that we are waiting for, though, that was announced recently. So Blood of Dawnwalker, we've got a release window speculation here. So it's developed by Rebel Wolves, being published by Bandai Namco Entertainment, from GamesRadar.com on July 24th, 2025. Blood of Dawnwalker is set to launch sometime in 2026. We still don't have an exact release date, but in a trailer that showcased during the Xbox Game Showcase 2025, it confirmed the 2026 year window. So hopefully we don't get delayed. Hopefully 2026 is the year that we get Blood of Dawnwalker, because it looks really good. Go check out the trailer reactions I've had with it. It looks really cool. Go check that one out. And then our final game, our final title for this action update is The Witcher 4. We've got a release window. So it's being developed by CD Projekt Red and published by CD Projekt from GamesRadar.com on July 24th, 2025. According to, I'm going to mess this up, Nilubowicz, Nielubowicz, okay? However you pronounce that. I've got a weird last name. I get it. So anyway, according to that guy, The Witcher 4 has been in full-scale production, in quotations, since the end of 2024. In a Q&A session, he was asked whether there was any confidence that The Witcher 4 would land in 2027, now that a pre-2026 release date has now been ruled out. We are not, and this is quotations, we are not going to announce the precise launch day for the game yet, he said, because I can't pronounce his name. All we can share now for more visibility for investors is that the game will not be launched within the time frame for the first target for the incentive program, which ends the 31st of December 2026. So it's for sure is not coming out in 2026. It may be 2027, it may be 2028, it may be 2029, it might be 2045, we don't know. But the fact that he didn't say it might be coming out in 2026 makes me think 2027 is more likely. So there you go, guys. This is our yearly plan moving forward. Like I said, we've got a lot of things going on. We've got quite a few games that we're waiting for dates. Got quite a few games that we're waiting for dates on. And I hope that everything goes well. I hope that we don't get a bunch of delays that is going to make gaming less good over the last couple of months of this year. I love gaming. I hope all these games, and I love movies, and I hope all these movies are good, as always. I really appreciate all you guys supporting us. Being able to make enough money to do another cash giveaway is great. We're monetized now. I've said that a couple of times already in my action updates. We're monetized. It's so awesome to have you guys supporting us. We had a short hit over 30,000 views over the last couple of days. 32,000 views. That's so awesome, guys. I really appreciate everybody supporting us. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell all your friends and stuff. I think that we make some great content. Let us know if there's anything you think that we should be doing in the comment section down below to help the channel. Tell me what you want and I'll make it for you guys as best I can anyway. But listen, again, if you've watched this far into the video, I really appreciate it. I want to thank you all for watching and just say God bless you all and have a good night. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch and join the Discord where you can voice chat with me while I live stream and you won't be recorded or anything on YouTube and Twitch, so that's pretty cool. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. If you like to read, you can see my after action reports on my blog. And if you are interested, you can get some merch from my spring store. The links for everything are in the description below.